とにかく今は仲違いをしている時ではありません。
I agree.
犯人が神室鬼没に屋敷内を出入りしていることが間違いなくなった今、私たちは明日まで身を守ることだけに専念しなくてはなりません。
Yeah, I'm gonna need that gun then.
夏日おばさんに極めて同感だぜ。犯人探しは今夜ゆっくりできるさ。今はどこで籠城するかを考えた方がいい。
That's what I do. See, I already had that idea from the start. As I said this, I pointed out the clock to everyone. It was already 8 at night. We had been receiving shocks over and over again since the early morning, and our bodies and minds were completely tired out. There's still a long, long time until tomorrow. 13 hours. We need to find some place to barricade ourselves in so we could get some rest, our bodies, and get even the smallest amount of relief. I'm sharing the room with Jessica. That's for sure. Anyone else, you can if you want, but that's my requirement. Because I'm not sleeping by myself in a room.
今からそれを考えた方が賢明でしょうな。
そういうこった。敵はマスターキーに準ずるものを持っている公算が高い。
シャノンやカノン君、ゴーダさんはマスターキーを持ってましたか？
はい。
Of course they were.
勤務時間中だったなら身につけていたはずです。
現場をいじらない方がいいってんで、そこまでは調べなかったろうが、誰かの鍵が奪われている可能性は否定できねえな。
Probably from Shannon or Goda.
そもそも犯人はバラ庭園倉庫のシャッターを開けるために一度使用人室を訪れている可能性があります。そこでマスターキーをすでに入手していると考えて間違いないでしょう。
There were many servants serving the Ushiromiya family. Because of that, there were several master keys. Furthermore, every time one employee started or finished working, the keys were passed between servants. And we had to acknowledge that this had probably gotten a bit sloppy at times in the past.
仮に殺された使用人の誰かのポケットから鍵束を拝借したとして、その鍵でも開けられない安全な場所はあるのか？
Yeah, Kenzo's study.
私たちはお仕事の都合上、すべてのお部屋の鍵を預かっております。お屋敷もゲストハウスもすべてです。
Of course.
つまり私たちはどこへ立てこもって鍵をかけようと意味がないってわけだ。上等だぜ。鍵なんかいるもんか。来るなら来やがれってんだ。返り討ちにしてやるぜ。
I'd highly advise against that.
敵は正面から来ないよ。最初の6人はともかく母さんたちやカノン君、そしておじい様の霊を見る限り、敵は孤立した人間だけを狙ってる。一部屋に固まっている僕たちのところへ堂々と乗り込んで来られるほどの力はないんだよ。
Oh, I don't want to be with everyone else. I'd rather be on my own with someone else.
そうだな。
That way we can sleep in shifts.
兄貴の言う通りだ。
Even if that's more dangerous.
ひょっとするとおばさんのライフル銃が抑止効果として成立してるのかもしれないぜ。
なら良いのですが。
マリア、言いたいことがあるんだろうが、そいつは飲み込んでしばらく黙ってろ。
Maria probably wanted to say something about how witches weren't afraid of things like guns. But if she were to say it out loud, the atmosphere around her here would start to get pretty edgy. I had noticed and decided to put a stop to it.
よろしいでしょうか。一箇所だけ使用人の鍵束でも入れない場所。
それはどこです？
Take a guess.
はい、親方様の書斎です。
じいさまの気持ち悪い部屋になんか入りたくない。
Yeah, I wouldn't either, but I mean, it's the only place secure.
あの部屋に入れる鍵は何本あるんですか？
One or two.
2本です。 一本は常に私が、もう一本は親方様がお持ちでしたが、先ほどボイラー室の遺体からこれを。
Awesome. Genji took a handkerchief out of his pocket and opened it up, showing us the burnt and filthy study key. Then he showed it alongside his own key, which he had once lent to Natsue.
本来なら警察のために鍵も残すべきだったのですが、
Yeah, but this is a time where we don't need it to be there.
親方様に書斎の留守は必ず守るようにと仰せつけられておりました。私は
なるほど。ということは金蔵さんの書斎は唯一の安全地帯というわけですな。
そういうことになりますね。あの怪しげな匂いの部屋に一晩も立てこもるなど考えたくもありませんが、あの部屋が一番安全であることを今は認めなければならないようです。
その安全な部屋に閉じこもってたじい様を犯人は連れ出して殺してる。
So the point is, we don't leave then.
絶対安全とは言い切れねえけどな。
バトラ君の説のおじい様がうまくレシートをやり過ごして自分の意思で部屋を出たと考えるなら籠城の価値はあるかもしれない。
Yeah, I'd put furniture in front of the door, though. Not just a fucking lock. I want furniture in the way.
楽観的すぎだぜ、兄貴。
Like, put a desk in front of it, a couple chairs. Things not moving. However, at the same time, I thought he brought up a pretty interesting point. After all, this gives us a chance to question the enemy, the witch herself, about how the sealed door had been opened. If we assume the culprit has used the techniques to kidnap grandfather from his study, they'd have to show us the same trick again if they wanted to assault us in the study. And that'd give us a chance to make the culprit prove how they did it right before our eyes. If she's really a witch, we'll be forcing her to use her little magic trick to open the door right in front of us. But that's probably impossible. If you spin the chessboard around, it's obvious the culprit is acting in a way that'll make us think they're a witch. If she really is a witch, all she's got to do is appear in front of us and wow us with a colorful display of magic. Since she's avoided doing that, everything must be the work of a fake witch who wants us to think she's real. Clearly. Therefore, a culprit who used a technique other than magic to defeat the closed room couldn't open the door before our eyes.
じいさんの部屋ってのは8人で押しかけても大丈夫なくらいの広さなんすか？
Honestly.
はい、ベッドにソファー、毛布類もありますので、贅沢を言わなければ十分に夜を越すことができます。流しに極上、冷蔵庫に酒棚もあります。
Thank God, I really wanted to get my drink on right now.
ひゅー、そいつはすげえぜ。しかしおかしなもんだな。自分の家の中にさらに自分の家を作ったってのか？島を丸ごと買って自分の夢を全て実現しきったじい様の最後の家にしちゃ随分手狭なんだな。
そうですね。いつの頃からかお父様にとっては屋敷内ですら心を許せる場所ではなくなってしまったのでしょう。
そこに引きこもっていたのを私たちは嘲笑い、そして今度は私たちがそこに立てこもろうってわけだ。
It's okay. We'll be fine. Jessica spat the words out.
ジェシカちゃんは立てこもるより犯人を探しに行きたいという感じだね。
もちろんこっちから探しに行って見つけられるなんて思っちゃいないぜ。結局は待つしかない。
She has a point.
なら逃げも隠れもしない。客までテレビでも見ながらのんびり現れるのを待とうじゃねえかよ、ベアトリーチェ様をよ。
現れなければ現れないで十分です。犯人を暴くのは私たちである必要がないからです。
正論ですな。警察が来るまで危 険を冒すべきではありません。
ありがとう南條先生。私はお父様の書斎に移るべきだと思います。確かにお父様が連れ出された可能性があり、絶対の安全が保証されているわけではない。しかしバトラ君の推理のお父様が何らかの方法で自ら書斎を出て外で襲われた可能性も否定できません。
A while back, I proposed that strange theory as a stopgap measure. But just as Aunt Ava said, even though that trick would be possible, I couldn't explain what motive could have made Grandfather sneak out of his own study in such a troublesome way. Plus, Grandfather couldn't even have used that trick unless he knew that the receipt was wedged in the door. Aunt Ava hadn't pointed out that last part, but it's clear how absurd the theory was. So does that mean the sealed door formed a closed room just as Aunt Ava claimed? Is it an undeniable fact that Aunt Natsui was the culprit? If Aunt Ava were here now, she'd probably make that claim openly and blow my strange theory away. But anyway, I had to admit that a room with both a bed and a toilet that all 8 people could be shut up in, and with only 2 keys, both of which were gathered here, had to be the safest place in the mansion right now. At the very least, I figured that would be better than just trying to shut up in the parlor and hoping nothing would go wrong. But wait, have we been safe only because we've been shut up in the parlor? What if leaving that room and moving into an unexplored location is actually more dangerous? It's useless, it's all useless. My flimsy head is about to break out in a fever. If I keep spinning the chessboard around, right and wrong will keep switching places over and over, and I won't be able to believe anything. When it seems like the culprit is one of the 18, I want to believe in Beatrice, and once I start believing in Beatrice, I start wanting to find the culprit amid the 18. If that keeps spinning around forever, in the end, my thoughts won't have taken one step from where they started. How far back in the past was it that Kyrie taught me about chessboard thinking? That concept of examining the situation by spinning it around and thinking from the enemy's side. I seem to remember being so interested by it back then. I used to guide all my thinking. By the way, Kyrie was Dad's co-worker back then. I never dreamed that she'd someday be added to our family. Didn't Kyrie tell me something once? I get the feeling she once said that while this chessboard thinking was one way to look at things, it certainly wasn't all powerful. And it wouldn't be good to rely on it too much.
チェス盤思考ってのはね、昔本で読んだゲーム理論というものを私なりに解釈したものよ。とても面白い学問だから、バトラ君も大学に入ったら挑戦してみるといいわよ。
ぜひやってみたいっす。それを勉強してチェス盤思考をもっと鍛えたら、どんな相手の手の内も読めるみたいで楽しいじゃないっすか。
でもね、盲信しちゃダメよ。ゲーム理論は非常に奥深く複雑な学問なの。チェス盤思考はその上辺だけを私なりに解釈した考え方に過ぎない。バトラ君が想像するほどに相手の手の内を読み切るには相当の勉強が必要よ。
You need to become your opponent.
しかもチェス盤理論は応用の利く便利なものではあっても完璧ではない。
Yeah, it's relying that you understand what he's gonna do. What if you're not actually thinking about because you never know what the true motive behind it's going to be, or the true intentions. You can only guess at what it is, but it's not gonna tell you what it is.
便利ではあっても弱点が多い。
弱点？
ええ、チェス盤思考の基礎はゲーム理論。ゲーム理論は突き詰めると数学に行き着くの。
Good old probability.
数学の弱点は何か知ってる？ノイズよ。
In math, when you write 1 plus 1 equals 2, that process will always result in 1 plus 1 equals 2, no matter how many billions of years pass, nothing more, nothing less. That's because there's absolutely no noise mixed in. But for example, unlike math, the Japanese language has noise mixed in. Kanji are a good example. Old kanji and new kanji are slightly different, which represents an introduction of noise created by the changes between the period. Isn't history the same? There are dozens of policies that seem foolish in the modern era, but were meaningful at some point in the past. Because the rules of chess are fixed, when a pair of experts are discussing one particular layout, it's possible they could reach the same conclusions whether they're from 100 years in the past or 100 years in the future. However, if the rules of chess had gone through massive changes over time, it's possible that a discussion about the same layout would have changed as well.
その通り。人の世の事象は本来ノイズだらけなのよ。人の感情だってそうでしょ？全く同じことが起こったからといって、人は必ず決められた反応を示すとは限らない。
Yeah, in a perfect environment they would, but the environment's not perfect.
それを数学の理論で当てはめ、相手の行動を読もうとする時点で、すでに理論には弱点と限界があることを知らなければならない。手っ取り早く言うと、チェス盤思考はノイズや気まぐれ、そして誤解、認識ミスに非常に弱いの。
Yep. Because you're assuming that they're gonna make the best possible move, but they might not. That's right. Kirie definitely said that. Chess has always been a game where both sides play by the same rules and fight with the same conditions for victory. That's why it's possible for both sides to predict the other's moves. It's possible to read your opponent because you can always suppose they'll make the best moves they can find. But what if your opponent is fickle or a bit tired, and makes a move that can hardly be called the best? Or what if this game actually has a special rule, some unknown thing that only the enemy knows about and can use? In fact, what if the opponent actually has some goal other than winning, than victory? Think of it from your enemy's perspective. That's the basis of chessboard thinking. Which means if you misread your enemy, the answer you draw from this process will be completely rubbish, useless. So far I've used the chessboard theory to guess several vague bits of information about the culprit hiding behind the case, or so I think. However, I don't know anything about the culprit. Am I just playing around in a labyrinth of thought? If Kirie was here at a time like this, she'd probably be able to notice something with her much sharper thinking ability. Until the very last moment, Jessica resisted moving into grandfather's study. But in the end, Aunt Natsui persisted and we decided to move there. Everyone was completely wrapped in paranoia by now. Hey, if Jessica doesn't actually want to be in that in the office thing, I will agree with her and I'll say, I'll take care of her. If she really doesn't want to go, there's no point in forcing her. But I'll stay around and protect her. And go barricade in a different room. Kumasawa had prepared dinner at one point, but during the time we were discovering the deaths of George's parents, both the kitchen and the parlor had been left empty. Someone suggested that the food might have been poisoned while we were gone. Because of that, we were unable to even touch the food that Kumasawa had taken the trouble to make for us. The manner in which the first 6 were killed was still unknown, but it certainly could have been poisoned. Certainly that would allow even a single person to carry out the murder of 6 large adults. Furthermore, this idea made it easy to imagine there would be only a single culprit who would be afraid of Aunt Natsui's rifle. And this was very good for our emotional stability. But the fatigue and hunger were even harsher than we'd imagined. Then Kumasawa made a proposal and we all went together to the kitchen. There we gathered some canned food and other things that'd be hard to poison to take in with us. All of Kumasawa's efforts to reward us with a little dinner on this savage day regrettably came to nothing. The food piled up on the serving cart looked just a little sad. We all started climbing the stairs. Aunt Natsui, who was in the lead, warily stared into the darkness with both eyes and the barrel of the gun. Once we dragged ourselves up to the 3rd floor, just as Aunt Natsui had warned us beforehand, there was a mixture of a chemical smell and a sickly sweet aroma, a stench hanging in the air that felt like it was eating into our heads.
なるほど。こりゃ一晩もこもったら頭痛にでもなりそうな匂いだな。
I'd rather have a headache than be stabbed and through the stomach.
今更ながらじい様の書斎に反対したジェシカに賛成だぜ。
Hey, what a coincidence. That's what I'll be doing. Oh, sorry, I'm with Jessica. How about we barricade in the room right next to it? And it felt like the stench was floating out from this magnificent door. It was the door to the forbidden study, which should defend against any who would enter. Well, again, she unlocked the door. Maria stared at the door and the doorknob with great interest.
おお、すごいドア。
Yeah, enough to keep out a witch.
古くいかめしくて冗談の通じなさそうな、いかにもじい様の書斎にふさわしい扉だよな。
霊的な悪意を退ける力がとても強く込められている。
Oh, what a coincidence, right?
多分ベアトリーチェはこの扉を開けられないね。
What a coincidence! Oh my god. Get the fuck out of here.
それどういうことだよ。
Maria pointed at the doorknob. A scorpion crest. No, a design like a magic circle arranged around a scorpion was inscribed there. That design, that's right. Isn't it just like those keychain charms Maria gave Jessica and me yesterday?
火星の5の魔法陣は強力な魔除け。
Just throw her down the stairs.
しかもこの魔法陣は相当丹念に作られていて力がよく満ちている。魔のものであるベアトリーチェにとってこの魔法陣はとても厄介だろうね。
Oh, what a coincidence.
それは心強いじゃねえか。この部屋ならベアトリーチェの魔種から逃げられるってことだろ。うちの魔女様は実に頼もしいぜ。
ならベアトリーチェはどうやって中のおじい様を。
Just say, hey, I'm over here, and then he would have walked over there.
バトラが推理した通りだよ。ベアトリーチェは中に入れない。でも彼女には魔法があるし使い魔だっている。それらを使っておじい様が自分から書斎を出てくるように仕向けることはできるかも。
As long as we stay in here, we're fine. Okay, I'll leave this room at 8:59. And then walk out of there, a victory and a free man.
ああ、漫画で読んだな。吸血鬼は十字架が怖くて近づけねえけど、使い魔たちはへっちゃらなんで使い魔に襲わせるみたいなシーンを読んだことがあるぜ。
バトラたちに昨日あげたサソリのキーホルダーのようなお守りもこの火星の5の魔法陣だよ。込められている力は微々たるものだけどこの島を出るまでの間を守ってくれるだけなら十分だった。なくしちゃったそうだけどね。
Yeah, and I'm still alive.
サソリのキーホルダーのお守り。
ああ、昨日私が母さんに渡したお守りはマリアにもらったものだったんだよ。ドアノブにかけると魔除けになるとか言われて、私より母さんの方がいいかなってあの時は思って。
How adorable.
そうでしたか。ジェシカにしては変わったものを持っていると思っていました。
夏日おばさんがあれをドアノブに。
ええ、夕べそう聞き、寝る前に扉の内側のドアノブにかけました。
なら夏日おばさんはとても幸運だよ。
Of course she is.
そうだったなら夕べベアトリーチェは夏日おばさんに指一本触れられなかっただろうね。ベアトリーチェはさぞや悔しがったと思うよ。
Can you just shoot her? Beatrice, annoyed, couldn't lay one finger. Natsui thought back on the eerie scribble she'd seen on that morning, as though someone had been tearing at the outside of her door with blood-soaked hands, and gasped in surprise. Could it be that this witch who called herself Beatrice tried to enter through the door to Natsui's own room? But the magic-repelling charm had been hanging from the inside, so she couldn't break through the door. So she was annoyed. So she scratched at it? Maybe.
よせよ、そういう話。魔女なんかいないぜ。いるのは犯人。それも私たちと同じ人間だ。 それを確かめる必要があるってなら、八つ先にして血が赤いかも確認してやろうじゃねえか。
That's a good idea.
よくもカノン君を。
Nope, door's unlocked. Genji unlocked the door. 8 people entered Kenzo's study, where we found a dead body. Grandfather's study. I'd heard rumors about it beforehand, so I wasn't that shocked. He had done nothing more than fortify it thoroughly with his occult hobbies. If Grandfather's hobby had been chasing after pop idols, these walls might have been buried beneath idol posters. Even if I don't understand it, I did realize that this room was a bundle of all his pastimes. Even so, I couldn't help but remain dumbfounded by the smell of his creepy medicine and the sweet stench that seemed to melt my head. Barricade the door. When the door was closed, it automatically made a clunk. I see, this is the auto lock that activated whenever the door is closed. And there are only 2 keys that could open this door from the outside, both of which were in this room. In other words, it had become a closed room. The shutter, the receipt, the chain, and now the auto lock. This 4th door had the most magnificent lock yet, and was doubtlessly a closed room. Just to make absolutely sure that the room was secure, we checked all over for ways in or out. The window was tightly locked. That should have been enough, but just in case, we tried knocking all over the walls. After all, we had talked about there being a hidden door in this room, but we couldn't find anything suspicious. Grandfather's study was very large. Even though we called it a study, it wasn't really a single room. It could be divided up into 4 basic sections: a study section, a bedroom section, a toilet/bathroom section, and a section for cooking that had a sink. I see, the study really does have enough in it to live in. Now I see how Grandfather could live his whole life in this room without ever leaving. It seemed Grandfather wasn't in the habit of watching TV because there was no television or even a radio in this room. We couldn't do anything except pass the time listening to the sound of the rain until tomorrow morning. Dr. Nanjo looked closely at the chessboard that sat on the table in front of the sofa, and muttered. It was apparently the partly finished chess match he'd been playing with Grandfather until yesterday. The black had the white pretty well cornered, and it looked like checkmate would be reached within a few moves. And that last part, within a few moves, the last part of the endgame. Even though the checkmate had almost been reached, the endgame had been rushed, and in the end was never completed.
金蔵さん、やはりこの勝負は決着がつきませんでしたな。
南條先生。
わしは長く金蔵さんの友人だったが、金蔵さんのことを知っているのは半分だけでしかなかった。金蔵さんにはいつも聡明な金蔵さんと何かの恐怖にとらわれた金蔵さんの2人が同居していたように。わしは金蔵さんのことを何も理解してはおらんかった。
Oh, that reminds me, I probably should actually check on how each of them died. Ganon found in a boiler room with a weapon resembling an ice pick sticking out of his chest. How presumptuous of lowly furniture like him. Jesus. Yeah, I got that. Anything new on here? Oh no. Nope, nothing new. Good God. Burned in the incinerator with a weapon resembling an ice pick sticking out of his forehead. The old sorcerer's wish vanished before it could be granted. He always knew that this was one possible result of his risky gamble. Fuck me. That's brutal.